Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to the Miami Heat podcast. I'm Giancarlo Navas, and with me today we have the intern Pablo. What's up, Pablo?
What's up, guys? What's up, G?
Chat's asking what's in the bottle. Wouldn't you like to know? If you're watching on twitch.tv/Miami Heat Beat Live, or if you're watching on YouTube and you see the video, you see me and my drinking out the bottle. Don't be asking. Siobhan may join us. She's having some internet problems. Hopefully she can get her stuff squared away. But folks, people, good citizens of Heat Nation, we are 21 games into the NBA season, which means the Heat, we have a sample. We have something that we can go off of. And I think that this has been an interesting year. I think that they have both over and underperformed, which is kind of a funny thing to kind of exist in that space. They've had a lot of injuries, but what else is new? This kind of conglomeration of players have always had a bunch of injuries, Pablo. So we're going to get into it. We're going to kind of go through their measurables, kind of see where we're at, see how we're feeling, and vibe with you, the chatters, because we don't want to watch. Who wants to watch LeBron James play? Fuck that guy, right? Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Fuck LeBron, dude.
Pablo, we're going to use some adjusted ratings here via dunks and threes, which kind of accommodates for strength of schedule.
Okay.
The Heat are 12th in adjusted net rating. They're plus 1.5 on the year, which is pretty okay. They're, offense, they're about middle of the pack. I believe they're 14th with 112, almost 113 offensive rating. And their defense is number 9th. Is number 9 in adjusted defensive rating at a 112.8.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting that their defense and offense are closer than you would think. So that's kind of the baseline where we're at, as chat says you look like LaMelo Ball.
Bro, I heard that today at the gym, bro.
You've been LaMelo Ball. Chad also says if you stretch Pablo's face sideways, you would look like me, which is really funny.
Oh my god, dude.
Pablo Ball.
Pablo Ball.
So Pablo, that's what we have, and they're 12-9. They're 4 games over 500. They're 6 in the East, or they have like a weird bunch of tie. A bunch of teams are 12-9. A lot of teams in the league are 12-9.
It's like that. It was like that the year before too. It's been like that for a while now. It's just treading that way.
So let's start with their offense. I think their offense has been a lot better than a lot of us have projected. Pablo, I think that they are shooting the ball. They have a lot of guys who I think you trust as shooters. They have a lot of guys who, are multifaceted players that can play make. Like guys like Hawkes can pass, Duncan Robinson. What Jimmy and Bam could do. And the Heat are 4th in 3-point shooting. They're shooting 38.5% on the year.
And that's amazing.
Crazy.
That's amazing. I mean, coming off 27th in the league last year, it kind of feels like we're back to shooting the way we're supposed to be shooting. Because if you remember in 2022, like 2 years ago, we were number 1 in the league in shooting. So it just feels great for our shooting to just feels like that's us. We've always been a pretty good 3-point shooting team, and then last season was like the outlier when it came to shooting. I'm always gonna believing in our shooting when we have Duncan Robinson, Hero, Kyle Lowry.
So they are getting it at least feels like they're getting some more consistent penetration. They're not just doing handoff offense. They're not just going east-west. Guys like obviously Butler, Bam's aggression when Hero was playing, Duncan Robinson getting to the rim, kind of spraying it out to shooters, which is just a weird experience. Kyle Lowry looking like he has a little bit of life in him, I think has also affected that. So not only are they getting some kind of pull-up action from guys like Kyle and Duncan, but they're really just great as spot-up shooters, right? The Heat catch and shoot numbers are insane. Kyle and Duncan, of course, kind of at the forefront of their catch and shoot shooting. But Jaime as well. Jaime's he's been 40% from 3. His numbers might have gone down after the Raptors game, but that shooting is a product of good offense. They're moving the ball. They're getting downhill, not enough to really sustain an offense that you're comfortable with, but I think they're getting downhill enough that they can get enough good shots and they have enough good shooters that they can kind of make a little bit of lemonade out of
Yeah.
nothing. Pablo,
Hmm.
and that's kind of, I think, the most important pillar of their offense, because the rest of it will activate in the playoffs when a certain somebody goes nuclear. But
When he
until
decides to
then,
play good.
yeah, this is kind of the machine that they have to work with.
Yeah, and I agree, and I just feel like once Bam gets healthy, is I feel like once Bam gets healthy, the shooting is just gonna get a little bit even better because of Bam's ability to drive in and kick. That uh, it just D-Rob, his game is so well when Bam is on the floor, and he played amazing against the Raptors, but I just feel more comfortable when Bam is on the floor when with D-Rob, and I just think the shooting is only going to get better from here on out. Like if we're doing this without dribble penetration, like Jimmy's coasting. He has the ability to drive in and get fouled whenever he wants, and that's going to lead to open threes. I just feel like once Bam is back, that our offense is just going to get better from here on, and once Hero is back too.
So you talk about Duncan and Bam. Together, they're minus 1.6 with an offensive rating of 111, which is below their regular season average. Duncan without Bam, 124.
Wow, that's I mean,
I think that's the Kevin Love effect, is what I think that is with D-Rob. And I think Love, Love and Kevin on the floor together,
mhm,
132 offensive rating.
wow,
Right?
yeah,
And what I think's happening there is he provides a lot of the similar screening and handoff kind of play that Bam does. He provides that pick and pop game when he goes
yeah,
downhill as well. Also, Jimmy plays in a lot of those lineups, and Jimmy is the great buoy to this team. Once
yeah.
again, all his lineup data is insane. Duncan with and Love without Jimmy, minus 13 with a 114 offensive rating. So still better than Bam, but not. So I think it's difficult to talk about this team offensively because it feels like it's all Jimmy. That to untangle it from Jimmy, even guys like Duncan who are playing great, Lowry, Jimmy is the great elixir.
Yeah.
120 offensive rating when he's on the floor, 109 when he sits. That is an 11-point drop. In fucking sane. And that guy is not even trying. That
Yeah,
guy's not trying. And he is like making them one of the best offenses. A 120 offensive rating
it's
is
crazy. It's
insane.
crazy. It's just
It would be better than Indiana's. When Jimmy Butler's on the floor, they have a better offense than the Indiana Pacers do.
it's just I feel like it's not even from Jimmy's it can be from Jimmy's play, but the threat that he provides whenever he's on the floor, you already know once he starts getting going in the post, it's probably going to be a foul or an automatic bucket. So teams start doubling, like how we saw with the Bulls game where we blew him out. They started doubling Jimmy every single play, and that was leaving others wide open. So Jimmy, you know how we say with Curry has all this gravity, Jimmy has some sort of gravity as well, but it's in the post, it's driving in, so that leads to wide open driving kicks for, let's say, Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Hero, Caleb Martin, Kevin Love, and that's why Jimmy's able to make everyone around him better, just because of his the threat he has when he's driving into the basket.
I like what Troppy Baby Alex in chat said. Heat's offensive rating 12th and defensive rating 16th on NBA.com are the inverse of their adjusted offensive rating 15th and defensive rating 11 on dunks and threes, which we referenced earlier. By the way, quick clarification: Indiana's adjusted offensive rating is 120. Their actual offensive rating is 123.5. So I guess the Heat would have to settle for the second best offense in the league.
It's not bad.
You
The
know,
second best offense is pretty
yeah.
good.
Just the second best offense. So
Yeah.
again, Jimmy is the great elixir to every problem on offense for them. And I really do think that is kind of leveraging that he is really their main source of kind of getting to the line, and free throws are the lifeblood of an NBA offense.
Yeah.
Free throws and threes at this point. And I would reckon, and I'm about to check if Miami's 3-point shooting dies when Jimmy sits. And yeah, I mean, they're 40% when Jimmy's on the floor and they're only 36%. So doesn't die, but certainly goes from pretty good to elite when
And you
he's on.
can, and it's not even from Jimmy shooting the three. It's just him passing. His passing is just is point forward type, and he doesn't even have to shoot the three. He shoots like one twice time. He was averaging 50% off like 2 attempts, but the threat he provides for the Heat is just immaculate.
Well, it's like it's what he does in pick and roll. It's what he does, and I just think those bench lineups make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He absolutely throttles those second units, right? And he'll play with like Love and Josh and Duncan and some of those bench guys, and they'll just annihilate second units. So
Hmm.
it's kind of lineup data is tricky, and I think it's not the end all be all, but I certainly think it's telling. Certainly, I do think there's something to be said that Jimmy is the great. Jimmy just all the lineup data revolves around Jimmy. I don't think that's a nothing. I don't think that's nothing. I
Yeah.
think like the Heat being better when Bam sits, I think that's nothing. I think that'll even out as the season goes on, or there might be like kind of nuances with when guys played that explain. I mean, it's still a little concerning, but at the end of the day, that's not the end all. But certainly, when all signs, when an entire team's data just screams one thing, you should listen. So that's what
Yeah. I
I'll
just
say on Jimmy.
with when it comes to Bam and like the stats and all, that's when sometimes stats can just like that's when eye test comes in. Like that Bam and Duncan, the stats are like a little bit lower, but when you watch them play, they look like
Not
so
a little
and
lower. It's a lot lower.
yeah. But I just feel like it's like a 50-50, stats and then eye test. When you look at Bam and Duncan Robinson play, it feels so free flowing and it looks natural. So like sometimes if I want to look at the stats, I also have to look at some video, just to see
Yeah, some film.
because like plus minus, it's a very like obscure like stat. Like you can be playing good, but if your team gets blown out, you're gonna have a -20. You know, I just I just feel like the stats like sometimes can be a little bit misleading, and that's when eye test comes into play.
So Duncan and Kevin is it's not insignificant minutes. So Duncan and Bam have played 300 minutes already, and
Hmm.
Duncan and Kevin have played not that many. So they play 50. So again,
Okay.
we gotta watch as these minutes climb and as the season goes on to kind of make accurate determinations of that. But their offense, their offense looks like it has a little life.
Yeah.
Their pace is up. They're playing faster. And I think a huge part of that is Kyle Lowry. I think that he has been kind of the guy that they need him to be. I think you want his scoring to be a little higher. And I think you want his finishing to be a little better. He's been 46% at the
That's
rim.
bad.
That's
That's
really
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
Last year he was 56%. That's also really bad. And it's unfortunate because his first year in Miami, he was 69 nice percent,
That's
which
good.
is really good. So he went from the best finishing season of his career and that plummeted, which I think with age, Pablo, that's the first thing to go.
Yeah.
Finishing at the rim is the first thing to go. He'll finish a wide open layup, but he's not finishing through traffic. And I mean,
He's not
he's
doing
good in the
Curry
mid
moves.
range
He's not
shooting.
gonna do like he's not gonna go to the basket and just finish with contact with ease. Like it's just when you're 37, it's just that old age you can get hurt a lot easier. Doing that type of stuff. You're saying about mid range?
Yeah, I mean, he's good for mid range, shooting 42%. That's a decent amount. Like that's kind of league average,
Yeah.
for a guy at his position. Obviously 43.6% from three is the big number. And for me, it's the playmaking that he's doing. It's kind of getting them up in offense. The assist rate is almost 20 assist percentage, which is, top 75 percentile in the league. He's playing well. He has positive EPM, which is my favorite advanced metric. And I think that's a sign. He's positive in estimated wins added. Although lower than last season, ironically enough. But I think he's having a really good year, and I think the shooting, I think the pace, I think the fact that he helps them get into sets quicker. I think that his pick and roll synergy with some of their guys, especially with Jimmy, is really,
Hmm.
really good. I think kind of what he does with Bam is really effective, and I kind of wish they would go to that a little bit more. I think that has to come on him a bit. I think that has to come on the coaching staff to kind of get them into that kind of offense. But he's been a huge reason why I think their offense has been like just straight up watchable this year.
Yeah. He's also looking a lot healthier than he has compared to last
Well,
season.
he hasn't missed a lot of time in Miami for health reasons. He's missed personal reasons. He's been shockingly healthy when he's been here outside of the playoff run, which is kind of, funny because he's
Yeah,
been a guy who's always hurt in his career.
yeah. I feel like the offense has gotten better with Lowry because it might make you mad, but he isn't doing those dumb little turnovers where he just bursts into the paint and then just throws it out. I haven't really seen that from Lowry this season. He did it
Yeah.
a lot, so I feel like he's controlling the pace a lot better than in years past, and I think that's helping the team just score better. Because remember last season we were just I think like the worst scoring team in the league.
It was bad. It
It
was
was
bad.
horrible but this season we look competent on offense. We look great. Like how you said, it's watchable. Like
They have stretches where I think they might be good, like on
yeah,
offense.
those fourth quarters. No, I mean we're not talking about fourth quarters. We're talking about 1 through 3. Because if we're talking
Pablo,
about
because like for me, bro, they they just gotta get to the spring
yeah,
because when it gets there, their offense will find a way.
hmm
And he wears number 22. And
yeah,
maybe that's a fucked up way of looking at their season, but that's just really the reality of who they are.
it
And it's
happens every
worked.
time. I
And
mean it
at
happens.
some point, Pablo, the music's gonna stop and they're not gonna have a chair to sit on.
Yeah,
And we're just gonna have to sit there and watch him get outscored by Bryn Forbes or something.
yeah.
But because it's gonna happen.
Bruce
It's just
Brown.
yeah. Somebody that's gonna piss us off. And they just don't have the personnel to make their offense better. It's just
Yeah,
this is as good as I think it gets. They have a lot of guys shooting well. Now Tyler can unlock some of that extra, maybe that extra level, but they're
that might take
moving the
away from
ball,
D-Rob.
huh?
I feel like when Hero comes back, that ball movement we have right now is probably gonna go a little bit lower because Hero does score a lot of ISO. Hero's not that great of an
Yeah.
off-ball player. He's not what D-Rob is. Where D-Rob started off-ball, but he learned on-ball, and he can play on-ball now. Learning off-ball is a lot harder, in my opinion, and Hero still hasn't really added that to his game. And I just feel like that's the
I
reason
disagree.
why.
I think he's a good off ball player. I think he screens well, he pops, he moves. He's not like a Ray Allen off ball guy, but I kind of disagree on that. I think that Tyler does a lot of stuff. I mean, Miami has a very active kind of offensive system where a lot of guys, it's not like guys standing in corners and stuff. Like
Yeah,
all these guys are involved. So I kind of disagree with that assertion a bit. I don't think he's Steph Curry, which is
no,
like
no one's
obviously
Steph
like
Curry. I mean,
he's the most relentless dude off the ball I've ever seen. But Tyler's been, I
he's
think
been
Tyler's
great. He's been great. This guy, Mommy Milks right here. I do not agree with what he's saying here because that fixes nothing.
well,
If
I want to address that because mommy's milk in chat. Uh, I love Twitch. Says if we trade Lowry for a good point guard, we'll be set. Now, I think if they can upgrade Lowry, that'd be fantastic. But you're not going to trade Lowry for a better point guard because Lowry
Mm-mm.
is a point guard. So that's not like if you're going to get an upgrade at that position, that's not like if you want an upgrade at point guard, you can't trade the old point guard that you have to get a better point guard. That's not how that works. Now, maybe you could say like, oh, we can attach a pick to it or whatever. And yeah, I mean, if they can get a better guy, that'd be great. Like I've got to make it very clear. I've never been opposed to moving Kyle. I think that if they can get better, they should.
No, no, you're opposed to it.
I'm opposed to it personally, but the basketball mind in me always says that if they can get better, like I just didn't want to trade him for like D'Angelo Russell because
Oh
like
yeah,
I don't think that guy's good. And right now, I'd rather have Kyle than D'Angelo Russell. You know what I mean?
100%,
And like some people like,
100%.
well, like, oh, I'd rather have Tyus Jones, and I was like, I would not rather have Tyus Jones than Kyle Lowry. I think Tyus Jones is a good player, and I think Kyle Lowry is just better than he is. I'll put it to you this way: I texted some NBA people this week, and I said Kyle Lowry or Drew Holiday this season. And a few people texted me back, man, it's Drew, but the Celtics should be concerned of how close that is. That's how good Kyle's been.
He's been great. I mean,
And
he's
that's how not good Drew has been. It goes both ways.
yeah, yeah.
So
But what Milk was saying.
Choppy Baby is putting me on blast. He says some NBA people. That means him, Nikias, my friend Kevin, Leif,
I just think if
and a few other, and Rohan Nadkardi, Ryan Cortez,
oh
and
hell
Alex.
yeah. Now
That's
this
who I.
guy
Those are the NBA people I texted.
this guy is spitting right here. Del Buche. Fuck it, trade everyone for Halliburton. This guy is spitting right now.
Hallie's quite fun. So yeah, so kind of going back to I don't want to spend too much time on Kyle because
Yeah.
I want to pivot to the defense now. If you have anything more on the offense,
I,
but
I was just gonna tell you, just respond with the last thing about the Lowry trade. You just can't trade your only point guard to get another point guard back. It just defeats the purpose of you trade one of our wings to get a backup point guard for Lowry. I feel like that makes more sense. And after that, maybe you can trade Lowry for a younger or a better player. But I feel like it makes no sense to trade Lowry for another point guard. It's still we're not gonna upgrade the team. We're gonna stay with one point guard. So
uh, Chamak 4040 says, "Do you think RJ Hampton could have the potential to fill the point guard void? Heard he's not on the injury report anymore." He's a guy that they're gonna see what they have. I trust the organization to know what they have.
yeah,
I trust. Listen, I trust Eric Spoelstra implicitly, and if a guy's not playing, it's because Eric Spoelstra doesn't think he's ready.
yeah,
And even if I disagree, and I've disagreed with Spo in the past,
he
but
knows
at
more.
the end of the day, that guy is right most of the time.
He knows most enough. I mean, he's a two-time champion head coach. He's good. He knows what he's doing, and we've seen it time and time again where he just proves us wrong almost every single time,
Yeah,
except
I'm
for like
done.
Cody Zeller. You know.
I'm done doubting him. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done doubting Spo. Chad wants me to give Jay Rich his props as not as a point
Eh,
guard, but mention him more like
he's getting cooked on defense.
I actually really like his point of attack defense. I think that people are getting too hard on him because he makes some pretty glaring mistakes. But I think there have been a lot of games this season where he's very aggressive on ball. And we'll get to the defense in a second, but he's been great for them. I mean, Josh has been the best version of the idealized version of himself that we kind of thought he could be. I mean, he is shooting 29% from three. That's bad. He is shooting 58% from mid range.
That's crazy. He's getting to his spots. If you're watching the games, like he's getting to his spots amazingly. And it's his threes, like he's jacking up threes every now and then. There are bad shots, but when he gets to that free throw line midi, I feel like it's gonna be automatic every single time.
The thing with Miami is that they take the most mid range shots in the game.
I see
By
it.
like they do. Like statistically, they take the most mid-range shots in the game. And they're like okay at them. They're 12th in mid-range shooting.
Okay.
Right. And Josh is nice. He's shooting really good, but not everyone's Josh. And I think
Yeah.
Josh is actually finishing really great too, finishing at 67% at the rim, which is really good. Right. So you have the finishing, you have the mid range. He needs to put that 3-pointer together
Hmm.
um, to really kind of tie the game together. Because I just think that he needs some consistency. I mean, he's shooting 89% at the line,
That's
pretty
great.
much 90, 89.7. So like he has it in him to be that kind of good 3-point shooter. You see it everywhere else on the court. He needs to put that together. I think his ball handling has been fine.
Hmm.
I actually don't know if they absolutely need a second point guard. I've kind of moved off that a little bit. I think I don't really know what they need. They need some sort of, they're complicated because before I would have told you they need a consolidation, and the consolidation is going to be Caleb Martin.
Mm.
Pablo, I think Caleb Martin's playing really well again.
He's
And
he looks healthy. It's like the main problem with the Heat has always been health, and he looks healthy right now. And you saw it with the game yesterday. But back to your point about not needing a second point guard, I just feel like we have too many wings that do the same thing, and I feel like we can move one of them to get at least a decent backup point guard just in case something happens to Lowry because he is old. Like
absolutely. I think that you do need a backup guard. I just don't think it's like, I guess it is important. I just didn't think it was like emergency important. I do wonder if the Heat are asking themselves, what can we package Hero and Martin for? Like, what can we? Because that's really, honestly, and I know that Tiff's not gonna like this, and a lot of chat's not gonna like this.
mm-mm.
I think the spot you look to upgrade is Highsmith.
I
I just
mean,
think it's the easiest to upgrade. Not,
I
and I
s-
think Highsmith is good. I think, and I said preseason, the best version of this team is with Haywood Highsmith starting at power forward.
Yeah.
He's shooting 33% from three, which I'm not gonna lie, that's passable for him.
Yeah.
That's a great step forward. I think that, I mean, he shot 33% last year, but I like that number for him. And Alex is asking in chat, who's the upgrade? I don't know. I really don't know. That's a great question too.
It is a great question. I mean, because Highsmith has been great when he starts,
That's
but
the hardest position to upgrade too. Like that wing power forward spot. That's not easy.
I can see where you're going through though, what your mind, your thought process when it means to upgrade from Highsmith. So like,
I just think he's the easiest guy to upgrade
yeah,
because Kyle would also be an easy person to upgrade, but we had that problem that we just got into where trading Kyle for another point guard doesn't make a lot of sense.
yeah, but like going back to the off season, remember Dario Saric?
Yeah,
He had interest in coming here. I mean, like that could have been an
that's not an
upgrade.
upgrade. That's not an
I think
upgrade.
that's an upgrade.
No, it's
At
not.
least on offense wise, I think that's an upgrade.
Yeah,
Just
on
because,
offense, but Highsmith is more important. No.
but it's hard to upgrade Highsmith because he can shoot and he plays great defense.
Hold
He's
on,
like,
chat's on to something. Hero, Caleb, and Highsmith for Mitchell.
I think that's too much.
They
That's too
yeah,
much.
chat said that's
That's
too much.
too much.
I do that. What's too much? Martin, you're not
Adding
keeping.
Highsmith into that makes it too much.
Martin, you're not keeping. He's gone next season.
Yeah,
So it's
but
really it's Tyler, which we've all been like finding a new home for him for years. So it's really like you're just saying Highsmith is too much to give up. Come on.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're
That's not getting it done. That's gonna be that in like 3 picks. Come on.
yeah, but like for Mitchell, like you're not getting much defense back. So if you're getting rid of one of your best defenders in Highsmith, you have to get some defense back, and you're not going to get that back if you get just Donovan Mitchell for
No,
Hero and Martin. I just um if you want to trade for Mitchell and if you want to trade Highsmith, I mean, you try to get back Isaac Okoro, who's a great
no,
defender. You don't like Okoro? I
no.
think he's good. I think he's
Good,
he's
but I
great.
don't want him. I don't want him.
Yeah.
That
but
guy's a that guy's a douchebag.
I think he's a great defender. So like, if you're gonna
He is
trade
a great
Highsmith,
defender. I don't want him here. Bro, he's rancid vibes, bro. Then nobody's gonna get along with him.
hey man, he culture changes things, bro.
No. I'm sorry. I don't think that those guys would vibe with that guy. I'd be surprised if that guy ever plays in the league again.
You think so?
I think that guy might never play in the league again.
But yeah, I'm just if you're gonna trade Highsmith, you have to get defense back, and that's like case point. You're not gonna trade Highsmith away for just offense when your defense hasn't even been that great without Bam. You know, Okoro is really
No, Pablo didn't say Okoro. You said that you said the guy from Orlando, right?
no. I said Okoro from
Oh my
Cleveland.
god. I misunderstood you. I thought you meant the guy in Orlando.
No, man. I said if we trade Highsmith away for Donovan Mitchell, you add Okoro into the mix because he's gonna bring defense.
I misunderstood who you were talking about. I'm so sorry.
What did you think I was talking about?
I was that Orlando Magic power forward, Jonathan Isaac.
Oh no.
You said Isaac Okoro, and I'm yeah. I was like, I don't. Jonathan Isaac is like probably never gonna play in the NBA again.
No. I was thinking.
What
I
a
was
funny
thinking.
misunderstanding. Poor Okoro.
Yeah, I was surprised when you said that because like Okoro is good, man. He's
Yeah, you
athletic.
look confused. I was like, Pablo, no? Does he know? That was
but
funny.
but yeah, would you do that trade if you get Donovan Mitchell and Okoro? If
I
you
would have
add
done
in
it for just
Highsmith,
Mitchell. I would have done it for just Mitchell. You don't. I don't got to be convinced.
yeah, he is playing for the Magic right now.
Is he
Actually.
playing for the Magic? That he's
Yeah,
playing? No
yeah,
way.
he actually is
Man,
playing.
I'm not watching that. You can't pay me to watch the Magic. They're good though. I'm
They're
scared
not,
of them.
they're pretty good, dude.
They are
Second
good.
in the East.
Is
That's
he
actually
really
nasty.
playing for the Magic?
Yeah,
Oh
he's
my,
healthy.
I did not know that.
He's been injured his whole career, but he's actually healthy.
Finally stood for something. Yeah, chat wants Dragic. Dragic is done, guys.
Got brother, he's 39 years old, I think. I
It's
don't even
over.
know, maybe 40. Scared of the
Trumpy
Magic
Baby
is
says
crazy.
scared of the Magic is crazy. Bro, that team, they're gonna be the next Milwaukee. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
They don't have heat killers no more, baby.
Bro, I don't care. They'll always find a way. That Paolo guy, that
He's
guy's
he's
fucking good.
good. He's nasty.
The Wagner guys, they're
Yeah.
fucking good.
Suggs, he's
Suggs is
good
good
too.
again. they're that the Fultz, like they're just good, bro. They're good.
Hey, what do you think about that, G?
Bringing point Justice. Chat says, isn't Justice hurt, or he's playing for the Raptors G
G
League team?
League team.
Yeah, yeah. So I know that we went long on their offense. It's just like it's kind of a weird situation where they're better. Their offense is a lot better than I thought it would be, but it's a lot. I think they're still like
They're
room
hitting their
for improvement.
shots. They're just
This
also
team,
just hitting their shots.
I don't really feel like I have a grasp on this team, and
Mm-mm.
I think it's kind of weird being 21 games in, not knowing. We can get into the defense really quick. Obviously Bam's been out for a bit. That's going to affect
Yeah.
a lot of what they do defensively. Miami is kind of doing the Miami thing.
Yeah.
They're trying to limit shots at the rim. That's like kind of their MO. They are 7th in shots allowed at the rim, which is really not characteristic because they're like usually top 3. So that's pretty interesting that they're not, they're down all the way to 7th, which again is still good, but not where you want it to be. And they allow the highest percentage at the rim. So that's
That's
the one
crazy.
place that's not every year, right? They
No,
allow.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
It is? I
Yes,
mean, I haven't seen the stats from the past
yeah,
year.
every SPO. That's the SPO system. They don't allow stuff at the rim, and when they do, it's like free.
Layup lines. Oh, like
Yeah, it's
offset layup lines.
Yeah, well, because it's like they don't allow stuff at the rim. Like
Yeah.
they don't allow the attempts. So
Hmm.
when you do get an attempt, it's because like there's a blown coverage or something,
A
right? Like
fast break, something
yeah,
like
a
that.
fast break or somebody fucked up or like so and credit to them, like that's like and it's worked, right?
Hmm.
But now, you know, they're maintaining that parade to the rim and they're allowing more. That armor's cracking a little bit. They
Yeah.
allow They allow a ton of threes. They allow the 5th most threes in the league, which
That's
is
because they play a lot of zone at the same time.
they
If you,
actually
if
have,
you
but I don't feel like they've played that much zone this year.
I've
And
I've
that's
been
what they overhelp Pablo. Again, we're in classic Spo bag. They
yeah.
help from the corners. Like they that rotation from the corner, that help guy's always gonna come. They're gonna stunt. The Heat are
Hmm.
gonna send a lot of help. The guys are gonna be moving. And part of the way that they limit attempts at the rim is that low man from the weak side is coming in,
Yeah.
right? So they're wanting that kick out because they'd rather you take that shot than and so that's pretty common for them. They're allowing the 5th highest percentage from 3. So
Okay.
not great, Bob,
No.
from that perspective.
No.
And again, like they don't allow like they're pretty much middle of the pack in allowing mid-range shots, which I think
Hmm.
you kind of want to get teams to take more of those.
Hmm.
You know, at least bad ones, right? Like you don't want like
Yeah.
wide open ones. So that's where their defense is at. It's been a little bit rocky to say the least. I thought it'd be better. I'm not gonna lie. I thought their defense would
I
be.
mean, if you think about it, when we were on that win streak where we were playing great defense, but at the end of the day, Bam and Jimmy anchor our defense.
Well, they played a
And
bunch of bad teams too during that.
yeah, I mean, strength of schedule matters, but at the end of the day, Jimmy and Bam anchors the defense. And if one of them, I mean, I feel like you can, if Jimmy doesn't play and Bam does, the defense can stay kind of the same. But when Bam is out, you have like Kevin Love playing center, you have Orlando Robinson playing center, and respectfully, they're both going to get cooked in a one-on-one. Like they get him in a pick and roll, it's kind of over. So that's why Spo probably. I feel like Spo has to go a little bit more zone as Bam is out, just so you can hide Kevin Love
They're not
from.
playing. I don't feel, and again, I don't have the numbers, but I feel like with Love, they're just showing him high the way
Mhm.
they always do, right? They kind of do that aggressive show, and then they're kind of trusting guys like Josh to
Yeah,
recover. And
yeah. But with Bam, you don't have to worry about that because Bam is top three, top number one defender in the league. I don't care. He can defend 1 through 5.
they're playing
And
more drop Pablo with Bam. And
yeah,
while I like it, I think some of this is working out the kinks of that
mhm.
because I don't know. It's just been the biggest change this year. They just play a lot more drop than I'm used to, and I think part of that is like why.
The 3 pointers are up.
Yeah, I just think that some of these guys are getting beat sometimes, and not
Yeah,
the 3 pointers are up, but the rim attempts are up. 3
yeah.
pointers, we know why, but that stuff. I've always been a fan of switching, and I know that people don't like it, but I just think it's good. It's just what wins.
It's a smart way to play defense, and I feel like the Heat could just with Bam you can hedge a lot easier off those when they like let's say like Halliburton's gonna get Miles Turner in a pick and roll with Bam. Bam can hedge onto Halliburton and then get back to Miles Turner pretty quickly. You can't really do that with Orlando Robinson or Kevin Love just because they're slow footed. They're not athletic like that. So I just
They're
think
the
like,
ones hedging. They're the ones kind of showing hard and to
but
kind of
that's
slow the guard down a little bit.
but like as like you just I just feel like yeah because look what
Yeah.
Chubby Baby says. I
That's
mean
that's kind of the play that they do, right? Like that, and that's what they did that with Tyler, I think, pretty effectively in the bubble. They'd hedge him hard and recover. I mean, they do it quite often, except with Duncan. They just never do it with Dunk. I just
because
think
he's the
that
best. He's the best. That's what I
he's
gotta say
improved
about
on,
Duncan.
he's improved on defense.
But I mean, defensive. I feel like it's just gonna get better as the year goes on, as people get healthier. As point of attack defending, I hope gets a little bit better with Martin. He's a pretty good, like just on ball defender.
They got to find out
So
what they want to do with Hawkes defensively too, because like
yeah,
I
he
think
can
that
guard.
he
He can
can
play
guard.
defense.
He reminds me a little bit of Beasley, where he doesn't quite feel like a 4 and he doesn't quite feel like a 3. And I can't really figure out where they're gonna play him.
He's
Um,
very well rounded.
I
It's like he's a Swiss Army knife in a way.
I think I don't think he should be guarding quicker threes, but I
Mm.
think he has like the foot speed to guard fours, but I don't think he has the strength and the size yet. That's kind of where I am with him. Once they figure out his kind of placement defensively, I think that's going to be interesting. And really in the East, I would like to see him. I liked his reps on Tatum. I think that's a guy that he can guard. You know, he has a quick
Randall.
first step. Randall, Bam guards Randall though.
Yeah,
Bam
but
takes like a sick pride in fucking embarrassing that guy.
but
Um,
yeah, I get you. I understand what you're trying to say with Jaime. It's just like you've seen him do good on guards, and you've also seen him do good in the post. So like, it's hard to like kind of predict where Spo is gonna like continue to play him on defense because he plays the bottom when they're on zone. He plays those lower left or right wings. He doesn't play the top. So Spo trusts him in the post, to say the least.
he does, and again, Miami has a very a very streamlined philosophy with dealing with post. They're going to front, they're going to swarm, and they're going to rotate.
Hmm.
That is that is the Eric Spoelstra post up special. It's been that way since he's been here. That's been the most consistent thing about him. That's the
Yeah,
one thing we're going to front the fucking post, and when that guy catches the ball, we are going to
help.
swarm, and when that guy passes, we run for our lives.
Not even in the zone. Like they just do it in man coverage, and it's just man help. At the end of the day, whenever when they throw into the post, you're always gonna if you're playing against the Heat, always expect someone to help, like to just come from behind and just like
Eventually,
trap you.
Pablo, you know, we're gonna get to a point where I want to see some Jimmy, Bam, Josh, Jaime, Caleb lineups to close big games, and
Hmm.
that's all switching. And I could see that. And Tyler mucks that up because if Tyler's going to be here for the remainder of the season and healthy, you know, he's a guy that's going to be on the floor when they close.
Hmm.
But, you know, on other nights when he's not available, that's a lineup that I can totally see Spo going to, especially if Caleb Martin is going to play the way that he's playing. You're going to
Shoot the way he's
obviously
shooting.
shoot the way he's shooting. I mean, that is maximum switchability that you
Hmm.
have between Butler and Josh and Caleb. Um, you can even kind of substitute Lowry for Jay Rich, depending, because I
Yeah,
think Lowry. The one thing I'll say about Kyle, and I know that he's not the point of attack defender he once was, has incredible hands. Obviously, we know what he brings for you from
charge.
making charges and stuff like that, but man has great hands and just like kind of
Hmm.
he fucks shit up. He's a
Yeah,
fuck shit upper, and I think they need guys like that.
yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why Kyle is also on this team. He just fucks shit up. At the end of the day, he's gonna get there to get the charge. He's gonna play that gritty. He's gonna do the stuff that people don't want to do, and
And I
that's
think some of the bad rim numbers come from his just losing another step as a
mhm.
point of attack guy. Because you know I want to be fair as well. I want to just show for my guy. I think he's been good. I think he's been really positive for them. His defensive player estimation has been
Yeah.
positive as well. DPM, all that. So I think it's been good, but I think that part of the slippage is a little bit that they're playing more drop and they're figuring that out. A little bit that Bam has been out for quite a bit of time now. I think a little bit that Kyle has kind of lost a step, and I think partly because they played less zone. Because
Yeah.
last year they love playing zone, and zone obviously kind of really doesn't allow that, and they've just played less of it, and they're just kind of riding with their guys, heads recover, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where they're with their defense. That's the one thing I want to see, that defense, if they can get life. Eric Spoelstra teams always finish top 10 in defense. That's a rule forever and always. So
Heat culture, honestly. It's just a
heat
heat culture
culture,
type of
baby.
it's a heat culture type of thing.
Guys, I'm exhausted, bro. I slept 2 hours last night. I just came back from yoga. I
Hey
gave
man.
you my all today. I don't know if that was good. I don't know if it was coherent. I gave you what I got.
You did great, bro. You did
I
great.
gave you and chat what I got. I don't know if
You
there's
did
anything
great,
else
man.
you want to cover, Pablo. I think that we kind of hit the broad strokes of this team. Um,
Uh
they have a lot of basketball left to play. I think that they're going to be around the play-in to the 4 seed.
yeah, I see that.
And, I think they're going to obviously try to shoot for not being in the play-in, but
Again.
we
You know.
kind of see you kind of depend on a magic run like they did last year. But
Yeah. I was just gonna ask you, before we end, top three most surprising things so far you've seen.
how good Jaime is, the Duncan Robinson off the bounce game? What? What? My guy?
My
I
goat.
my goat?
My
And I,
goat.
and I think the third thing might be it's between Josh kind of being this kind of player, or just Kyle being like one of the best. I think it might be Kyle being one of the best shooters in the league. I don't think you guys understand how good of a shooter he's been. I thought he could get up to like 38% again, and we'd all be happy. I mean, he was shooting 46% a week ago. Fucking crazy.
Bro, it's just at the bro, it's that heat culture, baby. Is heat culture. And Lowry is just he's back.
People hate him, but Let Just Commissioner says, who's surprised by Duncan? Bro, I mean, he took Giannis off the dribble, man. He
I'm
shifted.
not surprised by Duncan.
No, I'm surprised by the taking Giannis off the dribble, the
That
playmaking.
is crazy.
That's like not the shooting, but it's the other stuff that you're.
The dribbling.
I'm like, holy hell! They're gonna have to pay him again, Pablo. He's gonna be so good that they're gonna have to pay him again.
Hey man, give that boy 25 mil. He'll probably play like a bum again, but then in year 2 or 3, he'll be slam dunking and windmilling to
He's
get that.
shooting 40% from 3. That equals his 2020 percentage.
He's getting paid.
Is he up?
He-
Is he up to those amount of attempts? I'm so happy for him, bro. He's such a fun player to watch.
I
I
know.
love that guy, man.
I love the way he plays, man. Let me see when they finally weaponize Tyler and Duncan. I see he knows ball, man. That's
That's
what
the
I've been
he,
saying.
that's the Frankie and Alex special. They want elevator. They want
I
those guys.
want that.
That's the
Imagine, yo, you think of look at Klay Thompson and Curry. Imagine Tyler and Duncan like that. Like that's when I mentioned to you. Like I know Hero is a pretty good off ball player, but imagine if he rose his level to like Duncan, how much more of a threat both of them would be at the court at the same time. And they can hide their defense with Bam and Jimmy, but if they both become insane off ball threats, I feel like that makes their offense go up 1,000%.
absolutely. I 100% agree. And I hope he continues his play, because I'm just happy for that guy, man. I'm just so happy that he is back in a good place mentally, and that he's contributing to the team in a way that I think they need
Yeah,
desperately. And he
100%.
unlocked, and a huge shoes to fill, man. Max Strus was really good in a Heat uniform, and they lost 2 starters,
Mhm.
and Kyle stepped up and it produced better than Gabe did in the regular season last year. And yeah, Duncan has come in and produced more than Max has produced in the regular season last year. And again, those guys were under a lot of pressure, and those guys were playing out of position. So this is not to slander them, but like last year was a really tough season. And
Yeah.
this year doesn't feel that way. This year, there's a lot of hope. They feel good. There's an energy to them that I think is unique. And even though their record's 12-9, and you can kind of look and you're like, I feel like they've been better than that,
Hmm.
and at the end of the day, they're just 12-9, which is just okay. This team has a lot of promise. If Jaime keeps getting better, we got to see what Caleb looks like when Bam comes back in the lineup and they kind of get a little bit whole again. The Tyler Hero question mark, which we
Yeah.
didn't really talk too much about today, is a huge kind of thing weighing over them. And of course, Miami has a lot of their picks to move, and they're going to be hopefully active
Yeah.
in
Trade
the trade
deadline.
market to see. And they have to make some tough decisions, Pablo, because all these guys can play. They're all NBA players and they're all productive NBA players, but they have to kind of do some sort of consolidation
Yeah.
to get a little bit better. Hopefully, Pat and Andy got that covered. But I want to thank chat for rocking with us today.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank Pablo for being around for my rambling, as I'm telling you, man, I'm on my last leg here, guys. You don't
Hey,
get
man,
it. I slept 2 hours, bro.
get some big face coffee, my bro.
I have big face coffee.
Go make yourself some. You won't
Not now,
sleep.
bro. I gotta go to bed. All that stuff. But appreciate you all. I think we're gonna be live tomorrow for Heat Cavs. I I don't have Art Basel plans tomorrow. If that changes, then I will not be. But I am planning at this moment to do a post game for Heat Cavs. Um, Chad says coffee isn't healthy enough for me for yoga. Listen, I have a fucking huge coffee bar in my apartment. I have an espresso machine. I have just recently purchased a pour over system. I use a V60 and I use all Fellow products. Shout out to Brass Jazz for putting me on to Fellow. And I have a Breville espresso machine. With right now, I think I have Panther beans for my espresso. Panther coffee for my espresso beans. The goats.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't drink coffee, man. I'm just.
You're Cuban, bro. You don't drink coffee?
I've actually never liked it.
What
But
is
then,
shit Cuban, bro?
there's me drinking like energy drinks and shit. So I mean,
Chad says kale that I drink kale smoothies. Actually, I drink spinach smoothies. I don't fuck with kale
it's pretty
smoothies.
good though. Protein.
I drink every day. I have a smoothie with a lot of spinach, mango, pineapple, coconut water, moringa, turmeric, fresh ginger, cayenne,
Yo,
and coconut water and a banana.
Jesus Christ,
And that's what I have 3 p.m. every day.
that's a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
I would have just stayed at the mango and pineapple and I called it a day.
Nah, I need the spinach. I need the ginger and the turmeric. I need that good anti-inflammatory. I need the ginger because I won't be sick, bro. I feel great. Listen, I had 2 hours of sleep and I went to the gym and I did yoga and I'm just, it's 10:30. It's like, it's all coming down, but I feel great.
Hey, man, that's what matters, bro. Just
That said, healthy G's out of control is the secret behind Lowry. If G falls off the wagon, Kyle's gonna shoot 50. I'm the meme of like the soldier taking the bullet for like the sleeping kid.
There's no secret. Kyle came and lean at the same time as G.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Kyle and I have been doing yoga together. We've been chilling. We've been hanging out. We've been giving each other health tips. We work out at the LA Fitness together that I go to.
Y'all be stretching each other out and stuff.
Yeah, well, my hamstrings are tight, man. I that's the one thing that I need work on. So he's yeah. We hop on the treadmill and hit like we got leg day tomorrow. So
Leg day is crazy, bro. Squat, bro. Three plates. Give me easy.
hate leg day so much. Like that. All right, guys. So I'll see you hopefully tomorrow.
Same.
Again,
Hopefully, I see you guys tomorrow.
Unless there's an Art Basel thing I'm going to, which likely not. I'm going to the Faina on Saturday. I'm really excited. If you guys haven't listen, if you're in Miami, enjoy Art Basel. There's tons of cool shit. There's a maze of sand in the Faina. That's what looks cool. Go out and it's free. Go out and enjoy the city. Arctic House is doing cool fucking things they do every year. That's on the beach. Go to Arctic House. Go do cool stuff. There's stuff you can do that's pretty inexpensive. The design district has a few really interesting stuff. So,
Gee, you said it was free?
the Faina is free, yeah.
Ooh.
Arctic House, I believe, is $20. But
I'd be fucking with free stuff, bro.
The Faina is free. Go to the Faina. I'm telling Chad, enjoy our city. This is a world-renowned event. But yeah. So, peace out, guys.
See you guys.